YouTube, this is gonna be a long monologue on how I have helped build my business to make $500,000 in, 9 months? So September 11th, literally yesterday we were like at $499 or something like that, $498. And this morning we are at $500,365. So that's pretty cool. I'm trying to get more into making YouTube videos. I don't really the problem with YouTube for me is if I make it about the day, I just lose, I have to post all at once or else I don't. So this one is going to be just one long shot of how this happened. So number one, I've been in business for 5.5 years, and you gotta I first had to figure out well, what the heck are we even doing? Because when you're by yourself and you're trying to get money to pay rent and eat and things of that nature, you pretty much should, and I agree, you should take on as much as possible anyone who's willing to give you a chance at whatever price. So I would just charge randomly, 200, 500, 1,000, whatever made sense for that specific customization. And I think I did that basically for 2 years. And so at some point, even then, you can get pretty far doing that. And especially partnering up or being a contractor of agencies. So other agencies were like, oh, you're available? You want to work with us? And I'm like, no. Or do you want to subcontract? Can we subcontract? That actually worked pretty well. And I'll say kind of as a caveat is, I'm actually kind of good at marketing. So it wasn't oh, we're just hiring this person randomly. I had already been doing it for not even that long now that I think about it, 3-4 years. But it was effective. So, Google Ads, websites, even Meta Ads, I knew enough to be dangerous. And so, I could sell that skill. And even then, I think I was able to get some decent agreements, $1,000 a month, $2,000, $4,000 a month. And doing that over a couple years, I was a freelancer, a glorified freelancer with some help. So I had part-time, I had contractors, sometimes overseas, sometimes here, and it was good. But then, you get kind of bored and you want to keep growing, so what do you do? So I created a package called, what was it called, the first one? A starter package. And I had 3 of them, but the starter one was the one that sold the most. It was $250. And basically a lot of people signed up for it because it included a website, a full website revamp or a new website, SEO, Google Ads, and Google Profile Management. Albeit it wasn't super, the tracking, there was really no tracking for the Google Ads. It went straight to their site. SEO was best practice, basic best practices SEO. Google Profile Management, I mean, that in itself isn't that much. But then reporting on all that, I would report every 30 days on that. So it was pretty crazy, but that did help me build a predictable revenue model and have predictable, what we're gonna do, what's the process. And that's when I was able to hire my first full-time employee. So that's year 3-ish. And then kept that going. At that point we were doing $20K. So kept that going for a while. From there, literally just, once you find out what you're doing and who you're helping, it becomes a scale thing. At first it's what problem am I solving thing? And then it's okay, we just scale this. So I kept hiring more people. I kept raising the prices because it didn't make sense at 250. It went from 250 to 500, 500 to 650, 650 to 1,000. And that was it. Then the problem becomes okay, hiring people, how do I, actually really hard. How do I hire people that are effective, that can learn how to do the stuff that I do at least half as good, and I'll do the other half. So if someone could just help me set up a campaign, I can go in there and manage it. If somebody can help me build a landing page, I can go in there and help with the copy. If somebody needs to build a website, I can go in there and honestly get an outsourced person to help us with the website project, because that's a lot of, it's a lot of time. And so built more of the back end part, so a Google Ads person, an SEO person, that was it, and a website person, and then me, kind of filling all those roles. And then kept going, got to a point where we were able to hire CSMs, which is crazy, a customer success manager. I never thought we would hire that. Even hiring a full-time web designer was insane. I was like, really? We're gonna have so much work that a full-time web designer is gonna be here? And so yeah, did that, hired 2 CSMs, then hired another set of backups, so another Google Ads person, another web design person, and you know, those mix, like when you do web design, you basically can help with SEO. When you help with Google Ads, you can also help with landing pages because they're kind of, you know, interconnected in a way. But yeah, the problem then was like, well, how do you find, it's not even how do you teach people, it's almost like how do you find good people who can learn on their own with some guidance. And so that went fairly okay, and now we're here. So did that for a while. And of course, like, how do I find customers? Like, organic social media. Organic social media, organic social media, organic social media. The more customers you have, the more word of mouth referrals you get. So like having that low cost entry point really helped grow, not only because it was easy for people to make a decision to sign up for it, but also because, well, now if you have 100 customers, that's 100 people that can refer you. So like we get referrals quite consistently. And then organic social media, quite literally specifically TikTok, it helped a lot. I had one video that got 50,000 views, and I think I got like 80 leads, and I think I closed like 30 people in March of this year, 2025. So like anytime you get that many customers like very shortly, it's like massive. It's a huge thing. And then, you know, we've closed a couple like quote unquote bigger clients, like a multi-location place. And then we've updated our packages 3 times this year, and we're getting more $1,000 packages than we are getting what we, you know, in the beginning of the year we were getting more like 350s. So that makes a difference. And so currently that's where we're at. I'm trying to figure out what to kind of do next. Part of me thinks I need to spend more time with my team. We don't meet very often. I don't train very often. I do like overlook, like I look at the ads, I look at the meta, I do reporting or reviews for our clients. When I do the reviews for the clients, that's when I find out like, okay, well, this can be improved. We can change this here, we can do this here. But overall, like we're very remote, which in a way is good because like, yes, you can focus. Yes, you can just work on the stuff you need to focus on. But then it comes with everything else where like, you know, you don't get that osmosis. You don't get that feedback, instant feedback. And then just the things that are serendipitous, like you don't get those stuff when like you're next to somebody. Or like if I'm making this video and someone's behind me, they're like, oh wow, I didn't know we were making this much. Like, what does that mean? Or I don't know. Like you just like if I got someone who texted me right now, like update the tracking number to the booking site. Okay. And then I could just tell the web designer, and they're like, why would you want to do that? And you're right, why would you want to do that? And then you can talk about like, well, why should we do that? Should we not do that? You could call that sometimes a distraction, but some of that is needed, you know? So maybe more like a hybrid situation. But anyways, that is the story. Comment down below if you watch this. And if I can give any more tips or perspectives or again, this is from me. There's like tons of people doing way more, way better, or differently. This is my version of it. I'm fairly happy with how things are going, but I'm also just going through the process. I have no idea. So yeah, any questions? Let me know.